Hi again. So now I'm going to talk more about how to be the Toastmaster for the meeting. Basically, your role is as an MC, master, or mistress of ceremonies. You're just going to keep the meeting running smoothly, and hopefully you won't have any troubleshooting to do, but you may have to, and we'll talk about that. You're going to want to have the agenda very handy because that is your cheat sheet. That's how you know what you're going to do. So, we have the greeter, we have the timer who gives the 1-minute warning, we have the chair that introduces the meeting, calls the meeting to order, welcomes the guests, invite guests to introduce themselves, and then the chair is going to introduce you. And tonight, our Toastmaster is so-and-so. So-and-so has been in the club for X number of years and blah, blah, blah. And the title or the theme for the evening, and the chair will say just a few words about it, but not too many. And all of this is being timed, of course. And then it's your turn. So yes, the opening comments. You have 3 minutes for opening comments, so you don't want to get too wild and crazy about how much you are going to say. The opportunity to say a lot is during your prepared speeches and to some extent table topics. In my opinion, as a Toastmaster, the focus is not supposed to be on you. You are a conduit. That's my opinion. So you might want to say, oh, blah, 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 theme. I chose the theme because of blah, 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 blah. You don't need to speak very long. And then you will hopefully, without further ado, because that is so overused, you'll say, now I would like to introduce the people with the roles for tonight's meeting. I'm going to start with the general evaluator. So-and-so, could you give us your challenge for this evening? And then you hand it over to the general evaluator, right? And so you say, thank you, so-and-so. And next we have the timer. And I'm using an old agenda from last night. I'm not sure if it's the same order or not, but you're going to go through it, right? Our timer tonight is so-and-so. So-and-so, could you explain your role, please? And then you go through the whole thing. You don't have to say very much. You don't have to do a lot of active listening, like, whoa, thank you so much for that really comprehensive explanation of, blah, blah, blah. If you want to do some of that, you can, but it really, to me, too much of that really slows the meeting down. And your role is just to say, showcase this person, showcase this person. Now, hopefully you have, after all the introductions, you've had the toast and everything, hopefully you have your introductions from your speakers. But what you're going to do when you get into the speaking portion of the meeting is to say, we now start the prepared speeches for the evening. And our first speaker is so-and-so. So-and-so, it will be evaluating him or her. So-and-so, could you please share the objectives for so-and-so's speech? Then you hand it over to the evaluator, right? The evaluator goes, so-and-so is working from Pathways Project, blah, blah, blah. And these are the goals. Then you thank them, and then you read the introduction. Now, hopefully you have it where you can see it quite easily and it's legible. Hopefully it all makes sense to you. I hesitate if I get an introduction that is full of a lot of mistakes. I tend to edit it just for ease of understanding for club members. Anyway, so then so-and-so is, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Please help me welcome first name, last name with her or his speech, blah. And then we've been practicing this quite a bit, then saying speech title and the name of the member. This is what we do in contests, and it's in case anybody isn't sure. Anyway, it just clarifies things. Also gives the speaker a minute to kind of compose him or herself. And of course, the speaker does their speech, they're being timed. And then when it's over, hopefully within the time frame, you may make a couple of comments then and say, Mr. or Madam Timer, can we have 2 minutes for club members to send their evaluations or comments by chat to the member. So you have to explain why we're going to do that. And if there are a lot of guests, you might say, it's really helpful for a speaker to get people's perspectives in the club as well as their assigned evaluator. So if you can just take a couple of minutes to send them a private chat with what you thought you really liked about it, maybe an area for improvement, that's valuable. So 2 minutes after each speaker for this, right? Then, depending on the time, you have to decide, are we going to do a 3-minute break, or how are you going to navigate that? So there's a little bit of working that out. I don't think we ever do more than a 5-minute break, just because people don't really need it with an online meeting. And I would encourage, if you're saying, okay, and we are going to meet back here at 7:40 sharp, because people straggle and it's nice to get on time. And then after the break, then you can turn it over to the table topics master. So again, you're on holiday a little bit while that portion is run. Table topics master finishes it, hands it over to you. And then the next part of it is the evaluation portion. You get to hand it over to the general evaluator, and you can just relax for a long time. You really don't have to do much of anything until that is over, at which point you turn it over to the quiz master. You get to relax, and then you have a few comments at the end. So again, you don't have to say very much. You can thank people for coming and make another couple of comments, maybe about the theme that you chose, hand it over to the chair, and you're done. So as I say, it's just a question of keeping the meeting running and doing all the work ahead of time to prepare. And if there are problems like audio problems or something that goes sideways, you're always free to send private chat messages to more experienced members, like to Garth or to me or to anybody, to say, well, how do you think I should handle this? What should I do? There was a lot of that goes on that people don't realize with the Toastmaster, that they're asking for suggestions and support and guidance from other people in the club privately when there's a new situation and they're not sure how to deal with it. So I hope that's helpful. It's actually pretty fun being the Toastmaster, and it's pretty easy once you get the meeting all organized, because you're just handing it over to all the other people and sitting back and enjoying it, hopefully. So I hope that's helpful. Bye for now.